Okay, so we are live. Okay,
Yeah.
so we are live. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so welcome. Fantastic time we're going to have in this session, right? So welcome with me to this first session in this Your Book We Sell Academy. Fola Bade, an amazing guy who is doing amazing work in helping authors to truly make lots of money from their published books. So today I have Fola Bade. He's going to be opening this floor, and I'm very excited. I want to tell you something about something that has to do with book designs, right? So when I wanted to write my first book, I didn't really care about book design. So I just wanted to have my face in front of a book because I used to love Miles Monroe, the late Miles Monroe, how he used to put himself in front of the cover of a book. Amazing stuff. I just wanted to have myself in front of the book, So I took a picture in the studio, and then I wanted to write my book, which the title of that book was The Profound Life. I'm no longer selling that book now because I'm not impressed at all. I think it's not even in line with who Emeka Nobis is. So I'm not selling the book. I've hidden the book somewhere. All right. So the publisher of the book at the time, I think, didn't even understand what design was all about. And so she told me to go and meet her designer in the office, small cubicle. And then I went and met the designer. I don't think the guy even understood anything about book designs, right? So he was just someone, I think, who was learning how to use Canva, right? Excuse me. If you're, come on, answer this guy. So I think he was someone who just who was still learning how to use Corel Draw at the time. And then he just brought my picture, put an eagle that was flying somewhere, and then and then coupled it and put together as the design of the book. And then when I started selling the book, right? Answer him. Okay. So when I started selling the book, somebody saw the book, a Muslim at the time. And then he said, no, he wasn't going to buy the book because the book was written for Christians. I was like, what do you mean? He said, look at the eagle, flying. That eagle represents Christianity. I'm like, wow, it didn't even occur to me, So the guy refused, and I think many other Muslims at the time refused to buy the book because the book wasn't really about Muslims. It was about anything Christianity or religion. It was about how you can live a profound life. But they refused to buy the book because of the cover of the book, and it hurt me so much at the time. So even between that time and between that time and hold this one too. Between that time and 2017, that was 2010 when I launched my first book, which didn't sell. After selling 200 copies to my friends, church people, and a few of my family, I couldn't sell any other copy of the book. I ended up giving away 700 copies away like that, Saraka, to a lot of individuals that I met along the line, right? So between 2011 to 2016, I refused to write another book. But by 2017, when I came up with my books and amazing titles, Addicted to Writing, Abandon the Dots, Madmen Speak Revelations, amazing titles, my book took off and they began to sell. And you were the one who was instrumental to all the designs of the 7 books that I wrote in 2017. So thank you for being here, Fola. I'm grateful that you're here. And you have gone on to You have gone on to build one company that will truly change the face of publishing in Africa. And I'm glad that you are here to share with us. So the first question, I have introduced you. A lot of individuals know who you are already, but you can introduce yourself in, say, 1 minute for those who just joined us some hours ago.
Okay, Emeka, thank you very much. I don't know if you can hear me very well now.
Fantastic. I can hear you. I can hear you very clear, bro.
All right. Thank you very much for that brief introduction. Of course, my name is Fola Bade, a creative entrepreneur. We put it this way, that I'm just a creative person. I love anything that has to do with using your brain to create something out, right? Okay, so I do graphics a lot. I help brands with their visual, and also I I'm also a very good photographer. I do so many things around creativity. So why did I start Warita in the first place? The whole idea was I was tired of seeing books that were done shabbily in this part of the world. I noticed that most people don't pay attention to the cover, and this is more of the deciding factor when people want to buy books, right? I noticed that Nigerians mostly our books cannot sit. Most of the books cannot sit side by side with foreign books, right? We pay attention to content and all of those things, but we don't pay attention to what is really, really selling books. I love what one of our friend DJ said in one of his comments under your post. He said something like, except you are God. It's only God that look inward, right? People
Exactly.
look outward, right? You are not God, except you are selling for God, right? Except if it's just God, I want to buy your book. That's when you just decide to work on the content and you feel that it's okay to work on the content alone and leave the cover. But you are not selling to God, you are selling to human beings. Emeka Nobi want to be attracted to your title, to your cover, before I even think of even buying it, right? Okay, so we're going to be sharing so much about all of these things today, and I am happy doing this. This is what I love to do. I have spent years on this, creating visuals and also creating covers for best-selling books, right? And I am happy doing this today. So thank you once again, Emeka, for having me here.
Well done, well done. Good to be here. Good to be here. So let's dig into it, straight into it. So the question I want to ask: why is it important that you pay attention to book design? Because you are selling this book to human beings, not to God. Only God knows the heart. But people look at the face, people look at your appearance, and people look at you before they even take certain decisions. For example, why do bankers dress in coat and tie, suit and tie? Because if you go into the bank and you see someone with a tattoo and all that kind of stuff, you're thinking, this madman is going to take care of my money. No, this guy is going to steal my money, right? That's why when you go into the bank, you see them all clean shaven, they're not doing beard gang, they are dressing well, and all that kind of stuff. So appearance is critical, appearance is important. So, but why is it important that a book design must be done in a way that will attract individuals to want to buy the book? What's the reason?
Okay, so like you said, I think in NLP, we're taught something about, because this thing, they work hand in hand, right? We were taught something about rapport, right? And it has to do with, for instance now, Emeka Nobis, if you want to go and speak somewhere and you want to check out the kind of people coming to that event, and that will also determine the kind of outfit, how you want to look, right? You don't want to go to a corporate a corporate meeting with maybe casual, like maybe just round neck or shorts or something, right? Meanwhile, so it all depends on the kind of people that are going to be attending that event, right? So it's the same thing with your cover design. So the first thing you want to consider is, who are the people that are even going to buy this book, right? If this book is for female, you need to understand that would determine the kind of cover that you will be doing for them. If it's for kids, you don't want to put, it will tell from the fonts you're going to be using, the colors you're going to be using, right? So these are things that you need to consider if you are looking at attracting the right audience. So getting your cover right will help you to attract the audience you really want to attract. Okay, so you need to get your cover done rightly to really attract those kind of audience you want. Okay, and again, another thing people don't know, I think I did this while in school. I don't know if you also did it, Emeka. There are some books, when you hold them, when you have them, even when you are done reading, you still want to hold them when you are going out, right?
Exactly.
They are so fine, maybe they are so beautifully done or something, they're creative, and even when you're going out, you want to hold them. It's just like a complimentary card. When I do complimentary card with for business owners, my whole idea is, I want this card. I want you to give out this card, and people will not want to just throw it in the dustbin, right? You want people to be able to hold it around, right? So that brings me to the second point. You want your readers to be proud of the book, so they can take it anywhere. They're proud of it. They can, you understand? If they are proud of it, they want to take it out, even when they are done reading, right? Exactly. So we use it to post those days, right? We go out with books, even when we are done reading with the books, we still want to go out with them because they are beautifully done or something. So that's another point. And again, these days there are thousands of books coming out. When I started Warita, long before I started Warita, I was getting so much attention, people wanting us to get their cover done. But at the point, I didn't even know that there are thousands, millions of authors coming out every day until I went on research. That market is so big. And the truth is, if millions of people are dropping books every day, what will give you competitive advantage? If your cover is just there, if it's not attractive, if you can't convince me with your cover, from your cover, that you are creative, how will I even be convinced that your content will be appealing to me? If your cover can't attract me, then what do you want to put in your book that will attract me? So a cover design, I use this illustration a lot. A cover design is like, getting a cover design done is like, you take wine and all of that. Just imagine someone giving you a wine, a very sweet wine, but in a dirty cup. I'm sure you're not going to take it. That's what people do with covers, right? You're not going to, no matter how sweet it is, right? So many people pay attention to the content alone. It's important your content has to be rich, right? Maybe we're still going to get down to that stage, right? But then for you to attract people, to even know what you have, for you to welcome people to your house, you need to make your environment clean and be attractive enough, right? So this is where cover comes in. You want people to get into your to understand, to get into your brain, to get your message, to read the content you have to share. Then you need to attract them first with your cover. If not, you will end up having your book read by only few people that probably just love you or something, right? So that is it.
But,
get your book right.
Okay, but why is it that authors and those who want to author books, why is it that they don't take this thing seriously? Why don't they take book design seriously? I mean, in your experience, the things you have worked with individuals, why don't they take this in serious? They are thinking in terms of forget about the book cover, but focus on what it is that's written inside of the book. I mean, that's for me, I think that's foolish to think about, right? So why is it that people are not taking this in serious?
So I think to answer that, it's just like, for instance, now when you started out your business, your company, you reached out to us to create a brand identity, and of course that cost you, right? But it's because you're coming from a place of understanding. You understand the importance of having a good face. Even if you have a good content, if you don't have a good face, you're not going to attract the right people. So I think it's the same things. A lot of people, even when they have all the money, even if they have the money that it takes to start well, even their businesses, they handle it shabbily. And NLP says something, how you do one thing, my coach, that's Innocent, who said how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So it is the same thing. So when they don't, these are caliber of people that doesn't even pay attention to their business or whatsoever they are doing, right? And they don't really care about the visuals, right? So, and it tells when they are, because business is also, I mean, book publishing is like running a business, right? It's your cover is your identity, is your brand identity, starting from the title, from the cover design, and every other thing. Okay, so this is it. They don't just understand that this thing, like it's just like when you started out, you didn't really pay attention to the cover, right? So I think in some cases, many people will still learn the hard way before they get this thing right. They will still have to learn the hard way before they now understand it. So I try as much as I can to make people understand this, to make people understand the importance. But of course, I will only do what I can at a particular time. If they don't want to listen, of course, you have to let them be. So that's it, basically. I think time will tell. Many people will understand better as they progress on the journey of being an author, right?
So I have some copies of the books that you've done right here with me, and this is one of them. All right. So I just want to understand
Okay, yeah.
what is going on in your mind when you made this design. So this design is Tasty Fertility Boosting Smoothies. It was written by Gilbert Energy, right? Gilbert has
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, Emeka. Hello, Emeka. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Emeka. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Emeka, can
Yeah, I'm back. Network cut me off.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, network.
I was off, right?
Cut me off at the point.
Oh, cut you off. So I was in. I didn't know. I thought I was out.
Okay, go ahead. So tell us, why did you design this book this way? You know, so you have this is a book.
Okay. So Gilbert, Dr. Gilbert's book, right? Okay, so that was the end result. We wanted everybody that gets that book to have. So the book is dedicated to waiting mothers looking to get pregnant and all, right? So the book is so what's the end result at the end of the day? What do they want to see instead of having a pregnant woman or something which we feel was too conventional? So we had to bring in different elements of that will be needed when you give birth to a baby. So there you have the diapers, you have baby's shoe, and some elements like that. And the fonts used was also intentional, and it has to do. It's something that connects. It's a bit. It's between our fonts that connect with male and also female, because at the same time we believe that male we also want to read the book. It has to do with fruit that they need, both the guys and also the women in the long run. So there are different things put together, and we came up with different options before we arrived at that at the end of the day. And of course, we don't do this alone. We also make sure that it also connects with what the authors want and like at the end of the day. So I think that was pretty much that was it about Gilbert's book.
And then I have another one here called Father Mentor.
Yeah, right? Father Mentor. So, yes.
Leaving a worthy legacy for your sons and your daughters. This was written by Bridget and Leslie, and Bridget is part of this session too. So why did you choose to have this kind of design? Because I think people are going to be learning a lot. The fonting. Why did you use this kind of font?
Yes.
Why did you use this picture? You know, for this particular design.
Okay, so the picture was used. We used a stock picture. We actually bought a stock picture before that was used, but in discussing with the author and editor at that particular time, we now came up with, okay, let's have the face of the man as in the father. That's the instead of using stock images, right? So, and of course, they have brilliant pictures, very amazing stuff there. So we had to look into their gallery and pick this particular one, which was very nice. And the reason why the color, we had to use that color because already we have the demand there is father mentor, but we had to use that color to also connect to female, right? If you look at the color used, it has to do with feminine kind of color, not the usual maybe blue, black, or something that we know with men, right? So it was intentional to also connect with both genders. So you don't just see it as the title already stated it that it's for men, but the content of the book is not just for men alone. It's something that women need to also know, learn, to be able to train their kids on how to even be a good father, right? So we don't want the book to just be limited to only male, you understand, men, really. So, and for the font, we have to be playful around it. If you notice the he, we have to turn it a bit. We have to be playful around it so that it doesn't look too serious. So the book is just a book that you don't see. It's not a business book, right? So it's a book for that you can read maybe when you are home, when you're lying down, when you are in the pool or something. It's not very, very serious like a business kind of book. So all of this put together, we had to consider all of this before we came up with the choice of font, the choice of color, and also the choice of image. Okay.
Amazing.
So
we have another one here. She is also participating in this training.
My friend Teresa.
Yeah, so Lady Teresa is also part of this academy. So what inspired the design of this book, Sell Without Selling? And even the title of the book, Sell Without Selling. And then you see her holding some dollars and some naira.
Yeah.
Why did she even choose 1,000 naira notes in the first place? You know, instead of 20 naira. So what inspired the design of this book? You know, by our great friend Lady Teresa, who is also part of this.
Lady Teresa.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lady Teresa, I think it's close to what happened to Bridget's book, Madam Bridget. And what happened was we were able to get the right image. We used a stock image. We got a stock image and we used that. And while we gave her different options, and she was like, oh, she can take picture like this. She can model for her book herself. Okay, so that's good. So I had to give her different options. She went to the studio. I gave her options of how to probably post with the money, and the part of having dollars and what's it called, 1,000 naira. I think there's one of the pictures too that she was even holding dollars. I think there was one of the pictures. The idea is that's the biggest denomination of money in Nigeria. So you can be holding 20 naira, if you're holding 1,000 naira, you are doing well, not 20 naira, right? So you don't want to speak to people fighting for 20 naira, but you're looking at, okay, fine, 1,000 naira is what you should be rolling with, not change, right? Assuming we had 100,000 notes, that's what she would have held in that image. Okay, so and of course our expression shows that she's happy, right? She's happy doing what she's doing, right? And about the title, yes. So sometimes we try as much as we can to also advise authors when it comes to title. It's very, very important. Authors play with these titles and subtitle. So when she told us the title, of course, if the title is if it's cool and okay, we just go with it. Our title was, as in that title is very, very, very nice, right? Sell without selling, very straight to the point. That is, how do you? It will make you want to question yourself. How possible is that? How can I sell without selling? So you want to even know more, right? Okay, so and the subtitle now explain better what she's trying to say. Okay, so your title and subtitle is very key. Make sure there are things, and one person I respect about that is this man here, Emeka Nobis, right? His title is always dope, right? So it's important. Get your title and subtitle right, so that
I have my own titles here on the book.
I detect to writing, yeah. So get your title and subtitle right, so that
I have my own too. You see this one too.
bad title there. Madmen speak revelations. You want to know what's up about it. That what are the madmen saying? So these things are important. They are very, very important. Pay attention to all of these things.
Finally, we have another person here. She's also part of this academy. So what inspired
Superstar
you?
Audi.
Yes, Audi to do before you get married. You know, by Audi.
Yeah.
You know, somebody holding the hand like that. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so all these cases, she had a book before. She had that book before. She had the first edition of that book, and she doesn't want the design to be far, even though she wanted to be an improvement over it. Okay, so we had to consider that, though the image of that was like all these foreigners. That's another mistake we make in Nigeria. You are writing for Nigerian audience and you are using Onyibo. What? Why are you using white people on your designs, right? Except if that's the audience you're trying to target, right? So I think the image there had white people or something holding each other. So we had to rework on it and create this new version of the cover for her. And of course, the font and everything was also intentional. The color, of course, is related to relationship, love thing, right? And everything there was done intentionally. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think I have another book here. Finally, this one. Kemi is also participating in the academy. All right, campus life. You know, smiling. You know, with nice hairstyle. So what inspired you? Did she want to be like my guru, to be in front of the book? I wanted to be many years ago. Right?
Like every kind of is wanted to be. Yeah. Okay. I think for our own, right, it was okay for her to be in front of it, because it's a story. It's a story of our journey, right? Our journey through school, the campus challenges, and all of that, right? So it was okay to have a picture in front. But I remember while working on our project, she first sent some pictures, and I was like, no. This is another thing that happened. You know, the pictures were, I don't know, maybe they were taken with phones or something. I was like, no, you can't use this picture for your cover. It's more like your business, right? So it's important. So I think she now had to go to the studio to take a better shot. And
when you do disruptive stuff like this, imagine this one.
Yeah. You know. Anybody, you know, this are kind of book you want to go around with. You want to hold, like, you want to go around with, not something that is maybe the picture is not sharp, maybe so that and that's also important. I think that's one of the reasons why we had to add printing to what we do. I noticed that at the point we were doing design, and the printers were now messing up with the production at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You understand? You know, when
you design with blue, and then when it's coming out, you are seeing another shade
coming out as something like that, or gray or something. So we had to look at it. Okay, fine. How can we now pick this thing from beginning to the end, so that the result we really want, authors can have it at the end of the day. So that is it for that. Yeah.
Okay, so another thing is this. A lot of individuals are now saying, fire your graphic designer, You can use Canva, you can use free tools online. And these guys go ahead to design very, very wacky designs of the books. So, trust me, some of them reach out to me and they tell me to advertise their books. And when I look at their books, I'm like, if I advertise this is also falling my hand. This is going to mess up my own brand. People are going to be thinking, is this what you're endorsing? That means you're not good at what you do. And then they get angry, right? When I don't want to endorse the book, they get angry. But if I put my name behind it, means that I'm endorsing something that I wouldn't even read myself. So I try to explain to them the reason. So in this era where a lot of apps are coming up and all that kind of stuff, and then people are saying, no, fire your graphic designer. I am sticking to my graphic designers because I know that apps cannot replace the thinking of a human being. It's not possible. So what do you have to say? Because they are saying these things because of two reasons. Number one would be because of cost, right? And secondly, because they think that these things are free, right? So what's your advice when it comes to, I know, can you take away your graphic design cap now somehow, because I know you want to but tell us, why should people consider Canva, right, to create these free designs, and what are the disadvantages, working with someone who understands how to really take what's inside of your head and translate into something graphic that people will want to pay attention to. So tell us about this.
Okay, let me put it this way, that usually design is not about the app you use, it's about the person using the app. Okay, so the reason why I can tell you for free that I will use Canva to design cover, and when you see the cover, it will be so very nice. So usually it's not just about the app or the platform you're using to design. It's about the experience you have when it comes to that, when it comes to design itself, right? So about people trying to design for themselves, I don't really like to say that, but of course I would still say it. Usually it's not the best practice. It's not the best practice, really. The funniest thing is, even when I'm doing my own book, right, I bring in guys to work on it, because as much as I know that I have vast knowledge about this whole thing, I still understand the place of the idea coming from another angle, and from another expert, you understand, and people that also has that have experience in this industry. So about people getting on board, trying to do it themselves, especially if they are free books, I understand that part. You don't want to spend money, you want to give this book out and all, but you still want to do something nice. I would just advise, I will give you these 4 stuff to look at when trying to use any platform whatsoever. Okay, the first thing is for you to even ask yourself the right questions. Who am I designing this book for? You need to understand this. If you are the one doing it, or you are giving it out to someone or whatsoever, answer this question before you start the project. Who am I designing this book for? This will determine so many things. So when you decide on who you are designing this book for, you are producing this book for, then you should try as much as you can, now that you know, now go on research based on the audience. You can go on Amazon, you can go on different platforms that you know. You can go to physical bookshops, check out books that has been written in that space. You understand, for that kind of audience, what can you learn? What are the similarities? What are the common things they do? What are the common things they have? What are those things they have in common, rather, right? So you want to look at these things to help you determine what you want to achieve at the end of the day. Emeka is gone. I hope he will be back soon. Okay, so but then that is it. And Emeka, you're back?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're back. Okay, good. Okay, so that's the second one, and the third one will be that you can now create. Now that you have the platform, now that you have you know your audience, and you've seen different designs done for your kind of audience, at least those people you're writing for, that should now help you to know and understand the direction of your design. Understand something: design can be good, but not great for a particular audience. So sometimes it's not about being good enough, but is it great for that audience you're writing for, right? So you need to make research. The funniest thing in our questionnaire when we're doing cover, there's a part there that says that, okay, can you send us link of books that you like or something? We do research on every book we are working on. We do every cover. I'm working on. We go on Amazon, we go on different platforms to check out books that have been done, that has been done in that space, right? So it's important so that you understand who you are designing for, not just design because you want to design. So if you're using Canva, well done. Just make sure that you put all these things in place. Okay, and then the last thing there will be that you should try as much as you can to get feedback. Get feedback by probably throwing it on social media. Ask for people's feedback. What are they saying? What they can give some recommendation that will wow you. I remember that Emeka, you had to drop a particular title because of feedback. Yeah, exactly. I remember that we've done the cover and all of those things.
No, they designed. The boy was lying down on the bed, and when I tweet out there, people began to say that the guy was contemplating committing suicide, right? And then people, because that was the time that a lot of individuals were committing suicide in Nigeria at the time, and that was a departure from what my intention of the book was, right? And so I was if these people, if 90% of the individuals are telling me that this book is about to commit suicide, and that's not my intention, then there's a problem. There's a disconnection, because when people see it and they're thinking in terms of suicide, nobody wants to read the book. People don't want to read books that will make them start thinking of committing suicide, at least to the people that I was pitching the book to. So that was what made me to say, wow, no, let's turn this whole thing over again and start from the beginning again to the design. And thankfully, because I was working with you, we were able to come up with another design that made the book to sell. We had close to 600-700 pre-orders before the book came out. You know, it was
before
amazing.
The book came out.
And I did 1,000 sales of that book, and now I'm not selling it anymore. I'm putting it on Amazon for people to go to buy, because I'm moving on to something else with my brand. But then that brings me to the question of book title, right? Should people pay attention to book titling? Let's start from my book. Your book we sell.
Yes,
right?
Your book.
How did you feel about the title and the subtitle of the book, Your Book We Sell?
Man, when I think that was straightforward, and I've never for once had any doubt about how you name your book. As a naming Kenobi, like I think it's something you've learned over the years. Your book we sell is straightforward, and it's true. The audience that needs the book knows what they are going to get at the end of the day, right? So the message is just straight. You just want to pick it up, right? Anywhere, you just want to pick it up. Oh, this is what I've always wanted. And if you think you don't need it, you will know too from the onset that I don't need this book. So there is nothing like, okay, I need it or I don't need it. You are trying to contemplate. If you need it from the title, you will just know that, okay, fine, this book is for me. And you go for it. So I think you did a very good one with the title of that book. You did well with the title.
Yeah, so leveraging on that, what advice do you have to give to people who are coming up with titles? For example, people who are coming up with titles about purpose, discovering your purpose, 7 ways to discover your purpose, Bedmatics, all those kind of titles, and you're a first-time author, and you're writing 7 ways to discover your purpose, 7 ways to love your wife, Bedmatics, and all those kind of funny titles, so to say.
But
when I tell them about these titles and tell them these titles will not sell, they are like, Emeka, you God, you are jealous of me and all those kind of stuff. But because I've been in the market and I understand the kind of things that happen based on my experience, I tell them that they are going to struggle to sell, and most of the times they come back struggling to sell the book. So what do you have to say? We have talked about design. What do you have to say about titles? Titles have a way of also helping a book to sell. So having worked with authors, has there been a time when you saw a book title and you said in your mind, no, this one will not sell, and then you tell the author, can you see how we can tweak the title of this book so that it can sell? We're not dealing with people like David Oyedepo, who can decide to write a book and put a comma in front of the book, and people will buy it because it's David Oyedepo. I'm talking about people now who don't have followership like J.K. Rowling,
the audience,
the crowd, and all that kind of stuff. How can they use titles to break forth and start making money from their books?
Well, just like I mentioned before, a book like yours, your book will sell. Anybody will know where this book is leading them to, right?
Mm.
And that's important. You want your book, your title to be unique. Your book will sell is just, I don't know how you came up with that title, Emeka, and even many of your titles. Your book will sell is so unique, like you've not seen it anywhere, and at the same time, it's straightforward and it's very, very memorable. These are factors you want to consider. The shorter a title is, the better it is, because it will help it will help people to remember it quickly. Even looking at the bigger pictures, books that are best-selling books like that. Okay, I think it was Emeka. You remember there was a time, there was one book, maybe you saw it on my Facebook. Meanwhile, I think I advised the author before we even moved on with the project. The title was long, very, very long. And your response to that title to the post was, is this book a textbook, like more like a school book or something, or academic book or something? That was your response to that. So, and I think I had to discuss with the author again and again before we were able to change the title. So it's very important for you to get it right. Look at books like Alchemist, look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad. These are books that, okay, fine, their title are just short, memorable, and quite straightforward. So your book will sell, and some brilliant titles like that. Okay, so, and Narrating Self. Look, imagine that title, Narrating Self, right? It connects with our Wee language in Nigeria. That's the Pidgin English. Okay, so you can even come from that angle, and even if it's going to be long, let it be something that people can truly connect with. There is one book cover that I like the title. I for make am, but my phone, I took the press phone. No, you must have seen that.
I for don't make them, but I took the press phone. I can't remember exactly.
Something. Yeah. But you can see now that
I for don't blow, but I took the press phone.
But I took the press phone. You understand? It's something that we can all connect with. Oh, what's this guy? You can even say, in most cases, you can even tell what the guy is about to say in the whole book, right? From the title. So getting your title right is important. It's very, very important. It's part of what makes the buying decision. Meanwhile, Emeka, you didn't ask me this, but I want to drop this. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
People make mistake, and it's important that we correct this thing. We pay attention to even the front cover and leave the back cover. We don't pay attention to the back cover. We don't pay attention to the content at the back. The content at the back can be more important than even the content of the entire book. Just get it straight. Let me put it this way. If the last time, especially for authors you don't know, Emeka, if you go to a bookshop and you pick up the book and maybe the title attracted you to the book, before you buy that book, I'm very sure you flip to the back to read about the author, to read about the book. And that is where your buying decision comes from. People don't know. We see people pay now. For some people, maybe after shouting, some people now know that, okay, fine, their cover needs to be done well, and or maybe they do the front cover well, their content is rich, then the back cover, except you are looking at the small, is whack. The content is not appealing, like it's not attractive. Look at it from the angle of people that doesn't know you before at all. We didn't read this thing and be convinced to buy it. You understand? Forget about your followers on Facebook. If your book is in the bookshelf, we did flip to the back, read about you, read about the book, and be convinced to want to buy the book.
And you know that this thing you're saying now, I use it also in your book we sell, and that's why basically you can see me. I've not really been putting my pictures in front of my books, and if you see the synopsis at the back of the book, straight to the point, asks questions and all that, points out the problems, and then you know that this book is for you. You make the buying decision right there and then. I think what you said is really, really, really very important. Very important.
Yes, it's really, really important. If you want, except you are looking at, okay, because I have 200 followers, if these 200 people can buy it, they already know you. Now look at the bigger picture. If your book is on Amazon, if your book is on is in any of these bookshop, and someone just walks in and they decided to just probably the cover attract the person, and the person wants to make buying decision really, and now flip to the back and is now reading about you. It's not even as in it's not attractive. It's not even connecting with him. He's reading about the book. There is nothing catchy. You can attract them with that, my brother. They are going to drop that book, no matter how fine it is. At the end of the day, they're going to drop it. Okay, and again, that's where and I tell people this: it's important for you to make sure that your cover is error free. That's where that is error free grammatically, as in it's error free. People can forgive you if your inside content is it has error or something.
Something happened on my birthday, right? Something happened on my birthday. Somebody baked that cake, that your book we sell cake, and sent it as a birthday gift. So when I snapped it, when I took the picture and put it online, somebody circled a part of the cake where you have published, and then circled a part of my book also we have that published book, and sent it to me and said, anyway, I've eaten the cake. Do you know, when I saw the pictures, I panicked first. I was like, was there an error with? So I went to the book, the design you sent to me. I started to zoom in and zoom out, check, and then I didn't really understand. So I told the guy, what is the problem? I panicked. I was like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And he said that the one on the cake had only published but not book. I was like, oh my god, because I was already thinking that I was like,
there's issue with it.
I was like, how can we go to press now with this mistake and all that? So that thing you said is very, very critical for people to pay attention to.
You need to pay attention. Pay attention to the words there, because you don't want people to be seeing grammatical errors on the book cover, right? Book cover is very important. Of course, it's also important for you to have your book edited by professional, as in the interior itself, but don't joke with the content at the back. Some people don't even give that part to the editor. They just believe that the editor will work on the interior, and then about them and about the book, they just write it themselves and just believe that's all. They don't really know the weight, right? It's very important for you to correct that part so that your book will sell.
Amazing. So finally, what can you say to fiction writers, those who write poems, those who write fiction, those who write drama, those who write play, those who write other kind of genres that are not the kind of usual, like sci-fi kind of fiction, like horror and all that kind of stuff. Many of them come to me and they are really pained because they release a book of fiction or they release a book of poetry, and people are not buying because they come to me and say that people are looking for books that have to do with how they can make money, how they can solve their health issues. But people are not really looking at how to read poetry, that poetry is boring and all that kind of stuff. So having worked with, I think you worked with, I don't know if you worked with writers who are in the fiction genre, what do you think? What's your, what pieces of advice can you give to them, how to make their books to sell?
Okay, so today I had a section with someone, an author too. One art section with an author, Toby, who is also a poet. Okay, so he wants to write a book around that. And the first question I asked is, how well have you built your audience? As in, have you been intentional? Do you have a tribe? Because the truth is, it's true in this part of the world. It's just like in the music world in Nigeria. The kind of music we love is this to bad. If you understand. So if you're coming out and you are singing one slow love song, there are people that love that. You understand, but it might not be much, right? But then for you to attract those kind of people, you now need to build a tribe. You need to now be consistent and be known for that. It's not like it's not possible. We have some brilliant R&B singers in Nigeria, right? And they are doing well too. Okay, but they understand the part of them building a tribe that really love they are not for the general public, right? I mean general as in commercial like that. for everybody. I think that's the word, for everybody. They are just for some set of people that appreciate those kind of music. So it's the same thing with a poet that want to publish those kind of book. You want to be consistent, be known, and build a kind of followership. Look at you, Emeka. Look at your book coming out, and you're already over 200 pre-order. These are people that already knows your value. They've been following you for years. You can't just wake up one day and say that, okay, man, you just want to write a book without building a tribe of followers, people that already believe in what you are doing. Okay, I think that's the mistake. So as a fictional writer, poet, or whatsoever, the first thing is for you to first give before you receive. First, try as much as you can to, and my coach, Sam Obafemi, would say that any business that gives never goes down. So it's the same thing. You are a business, you are an entity. So if you give, and you are now known, that's how to build tribe, and you are now known that, okay, fine, you are a consistent giver. Whenever you are now publishing that book, because you've already built those kind. Okay, I think there was something that happened on my Instagram. There was a time I was doing on book and all of those things. Now some people actually unfollowed. So I was speaking with my coach, and he said they are not your tribe, they are not your market. So let them go. You understand? They are not for you. So that's just it. You need to understand that you are not for everybody. You are for some kind of people, and you need to be intentional about building those that tribe. I think that's
fantastic.
It for them.
Fantastic, Fola. Fantastic. This is an amazing. We're already 9 minutes to 12. We have already exceeded the 45 minutes that we said we were going to be here. I know we have just been flowing and all that. You know, so but then finally, before we go, I want everyone to know that these people are part of our tribe here, right? So Lady Teresa is also part of this group, Sell Without Selling. So you can approach her to get. I hope that she puts comments in the comment section, so everybody can buy the book, Sell Without Selling, how you can sell without selling. You know, it's very, 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 very beautiful. Maybe how you can seduce people to buy your book or something like that, right? So how to sell without selling is amazing. And then we have Father Mentor. She's also here, Bridget Elesini, you know, trying to change the things that are happening right now in the nation about men and rape and all that bullshit that is going on. How can men become father mentors? So Bridget is here in this group, so you can connect with her right here in this group. I hope that she can drop a comment.
And so all those books are on Warita book place too, exactly, so they can as well get it. Yeah.
Awesome. So we have Odi Adede also part of our group. Amazing. And then we have Kemi Esho is also for you know. So to go ahead. So for that, finally, how can we get these books on Warita? And then what are your final words? People want to work with you. They want to make sure that they get it right, because the essence of this whole academy, is
for people to get it right.
After here, they get it right so that their books can also sell and not all the errors that they have made before in the past. So two things: how can they get copies of these books on Warita? And then also, if they want to work with you, how can they work with you so that they can get it right? Go ahead and fire down, sir.
Okay, so about getting those books, they are on warita.com/bookplace. You're going to see those books and even more books. And of course, you're going to, just like Emeka books, all of you that, I believe everybody here ordered for the book already. So of course, you're going to be getting the book delivered to your doorstep anywhere you are in Nigeria. Okay, so we are still working hard to make it a worldwide thing. Okay, but for now, Nigeria. Okay, so you can get it. You just place your order there, and your order will be approved, and the book will be delivered to you. Okay, so about working with me, I like Emeka would say, I'm like open book, right? You're open like a book or something. I'm also very open like a book, right? I'm quite accessible, especially on my Facebook, and I think I'm very, very accessible on WhatsApp, really. Yeah, but that's it for now. But if you want to work directly with me, if you want to have a section or something directly with me, but when it has to do with the business, like publishing your book, completely maybe printing and all of those things, of course our contact is on the website. That's warita.com. And of course, Warita on every social media. Thank you once again, Emeka.
Warita is spelled W-O-R-I-T-A-L. So www.warrital.com, WORITAL.com. You know, so
you
can get that. So Fola, thank you very much for, and some people are asking these videos will be available right here in the group, so you can have access to them even when we are done today and all through the month of July. After July, we may decide to do something else with the videos, right? So you can have access to the videos in this group. So thank you very much, Fola, for really granting me the request to be here to share from your depth of knowledge and experience. I don't take it for granted. This could easily cost someone. This could easily cost someone 50,000 naira or 100,000. I don't know how much you charge for hour, but then thank you for coming here to share from the basin and from the ocean of your knowledge, right?
Thank you very much, Emeka.
I believe that everybody who has listened to you now know the right kinds of things to do when it comes to design, and not to be like me at the beginning when I put my picture, a flying bird and a sky together, and then things went haywire, right? So thank you for being here. God bless you, and all the way from the city of Port Harcourt. I'm saying goodbye to everybody. We see you again sometime this evening and then tomorrow. All right. So take care, guys.
Yeah.
Go and practice.
All right.